perks on that flying thing. Getting snow blind games. Make a tune, chick a boon in the world beyond. Got a beat, got a heat on the phone. It's tear your world apart. Once the magic starts.
Oh, why have I got no clothes on?
Oh, that's what she said.
What? Rob's done that, the little bastard, because I didn't watch that through. Oh my god. Anyway, hello everybody. Welcome to Sunday Night live stream, which I'm a bit embarrassed now. So, Rob, you're a knob. Oh dear me. Robert Wilson, you know. So, anyway, yes, hello everybody. Jody Paul here to Magpie Movies Live. The bullet. I can't even speak now. I've lost the plot. Jesus. Sunday Night live stream about new bullet. Oh, whatever. Let's bring Pete in. What's going on, Pete? I did not expect that. That was yeah.
I'm just trying to push my boner down because I saw your ass.
Rob's gonna. I did not know he'd done that. The little shit. So anyway, everybody, Pete's here. Bringing our guest. Hi, Paul. Yeah, that was my arse. Apologies for that.
Well, that was a weird intro.
It's going so. I did it with
Good
the
crack.
whole normal intro, put the Peacemaker Wigwam song on top of it, and it was supposed to end. Then Rob decided to add that bit on at the end because I sent to him to add on to it because we're sharing the kind of thing, so I can put different pictures and everything on it because he's paying for it. And he's added that to the end. So
well, it's memorable.
Yeah, there you go. So this is your first time on my stream, or our stream, should I say? Yeah.
It is, yeah. I think I've been on one of yours, one of your earlier ones.
I think you were along.
Yeah.
This was like a few months
It's early on.
last year. But yeah, it's nice to have you on. Yeah, I know you couldn't make it last week. So it's nice we'll get you on this week. It's nice I can actually get Pete on this week because he forgot.
Yeah, well, I've been rebuilding the library, mate. It's all over the show.
Ridiculous.
So
So
you can only see on a little bit, but you wait till you see it finished.
So I'm thinking, and I could be wrong here, Pete, that the Sunday night live streams could be back. I've told the wife that for the foreseeable future that Sundays she now has a night off, so she's quite happy about that. So as always, since it's a Sunday stream, I've got my Brewdog at the ready here. Different one. This is Planet Pale Ale. The wife thinks I'm a bit of a beer nonce, so there we go. Anyway, so Paul, yes, your link to your channel is in the. Everybody having water and stuff, and here's me getting cracking
It's
on my
just
alcohol.
juicy.
Northern pisshead, isn't it? That's why.
So Paul's here. He has kind of taken a backseat. I think it will be right thinking for you on YouTube. The link to your channel is in the description below.
Yeah.
So what's going on with your channel and where are we at with that?
Well, it's basically what I feel like I've been doing with it the last year is just sort of doing what everyone else has been doing, and that's what it feels like. It feels like everyone's. It's hard without sort of being like slandering other channels, but it feels like just everyone does the same thing. So I thought, right, I'm going to take a step back and maybe come up with something else.
Just had a bit of animal porn.
Which, yeah, well, that's on the list. But I was doing Thursday night streams, which you're aware of, which I was really enjoying. I do enjoy doing with the lads, Luke and Tarek. And we're thinking of sort of just doing something with that, maybe going into a podcast or just sort of reformatting my channel just to a stream base. I'm tampering with a few things, but yeah, I've just took a couple of weeks off, but I'm still here. Active. I'm still checking people's content out. I'm still active on social media, on Instagram, whatnot, talking to everyone in sort of the film community. I just haven't made any content in a couple of weeks.
Gotta be happy.
That's it. Yeah, it's just like, I mean, like for instance, the Batman come out. All my feed was, including myself, was just Batman. I was just like, oh, come on. But that's just, I suppose, I'm new to YouTube. I suppose that just comes with the territory. Like, I'm sure everyone else's feed was the same. Just a new film drops, it's just do. And you're just like, was there anything else to watch?
No, you're right. Yeah, I mean, the whole reason. I mean, I've spoken to Pete about this. Why we kind of made our Sunday night live streams take a step back, because I thought me and him. I mean, I'm not going to say that we started because I know Paul did his on his YouTube because he had over 1,000 subscribers, so he could do it normally. But I think in the group that we were in, I started doing the StreamYard thing, and obviously then Paul did it as well. So me and Pete kind of started doing it, and then you're right, everybody else seemed to do the same thing, you know. So that's why I was just like, I don't want it to be like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. There's this live stream every night discussing the same things over and over and over again. So that's why I said to Pete, look, we'll do it in seasons. We'll do it and go, right, boom, that's it, it's over. And then if other people do other live streams and we say hello and those are our guests and people go, oh, when is your stream coming back? Then we'll know that there's the want and need for it. So then we came back for a second season. I felt we went off on a high with the last season because we had Brendan on, because you were on for that one for Brendan, and you had no idea who he was, which was really good. I was like, can you pop off? You're like, yeah. And then afterwards, I'm like, I can't believe he came on. You went, I have no idea who he was, Paul. I was like, all right, no bother, mate.
Everyone on it was like, oh my God, I'm so pleased to meet you. I was like, who's this dude?
Yeah. But so it kind of built up to something, because I like having US and UK people on it as well. So like when I did live streams on my own before, and when Pete wasn't very well, I had like Tony from Basement Blues on, or Tony from Tony Moves and Me. Next week I'm getting Dave Durant back on. He's free to come back on then. And then after that, I think I might get Tony from Basement Blues back on because he hasn't met Pete. And it just kind of, I like having that kind of across the Atlantic kind of conversation, as opposed to, oh, what you getting on Monday? Oh, I'm getting, for this example, Scream, and they'll be like, oh, ours isn't out till Tuesday, but we're getting this edition. So they've got, you can look it up. Just add a little bit of something new to it. And you're right about videos. I've took a step back because I've not spending. So if I'm going to something now, I'll take like a batch of stuff to CX, trade it in, get a voucher, and then use that voucher, and it sits in my wallet and in my credit, burning a hole there because I need to buy something. But I don't want to, because I know Scream's coming out tomorrow, so I'm going to wait and I'll get that. So I'm not really. So I'm still getting new releases, but I'll have to wait. But yeah, so that's the case for me. It's all a bit too much repetitive. Everyone's doing the same thing, because you could do like 100 videos, or not 10 videos, sorry, and then 2 of those could be out and about, and one I've bought, and they could hit like 500 views. But if you just do a review, you could get 50. I mean, what's the point in that? I enjoy doing reviews.
Yeah, I mean, like it all comes down to, and I've said this before. People say like they're not in it for the views and subscribers. I call bullshit on that when they say that. I think they are. Not to the degree like they're getting jealous or anything like that. I just think, like you said, what's the point spending so much of your time to put something together if you're going to get a couple of views out of it? It's not benefiting yourself. It's not benefiting the channel. So you've got to be thinking sort of outside the box, and that's where it's good to maybe take a step back and come up with an idea that somebody else isn't doing.
Yeah,
exactly. I totally 100% agree with you. It's just, you've got to think of coming up with something different. That's why I'm kind of like, right, I'll sit back, what can I do? Well, I'll do an out and about video because I've never done one. I'm still getting the grips of doing like the editing for that and then put my voiceover on it. And I thought, you know what kind of video is going to do which is involving me spending money? So that's why like the last video I did was of my collection, what films do I recommend you getting from Blu-ray to 4K? So there's because you can look at things like Inglourious Basterds or T2 where the 4K picture is not that good. Whereas I'm thinking, well, the few I've got in my collection, why don't I just do a 3-part video? People can watch it, and that's my recommendations. So you're done. And in the meantime, something else might pop in my head. Boys in the Hood.
4K everything blue version.
I've never ever seen that film.
Awesome. What? I've got it for 8 quid at CX. There's only 500 of these made, and I've got it for 8 quid at CX.
Is it not American? Are they allowed to sell it?
Don't know. It's the everything blue version.
Yeah, I've never seen that one.
Oh, it's an awesome film. But I was just like, you don't know what you got here, do you? No, they don't. There's an individual card in there. It's like 310 of 500. So I'll be keeping that.
Yeah.
Oh, where is it? Where did I put it? Hold on. Where do you think I got this one from?
Zavi.
Of course.
What is it?
You know what? I've ordered so many steelbooks from Zavi. I've never had a problem with them, but I see so many people. I've been very lucky because I've seen so many things like that.
You're bending that motherfucker, isn't it?
What is it?
That way people probably come back.
It's Mulan.
Okay.
So I'm like, yeah, you'll be going back.
Looks like Mulan's took a sword to it.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you one thing. The one thing I miss. I mean, I do. You know, like I do my. Whenever I get a CEX voucher, I literally rate the CEX and just come out with a pile of stuff. I've literally got what was it, about 55 things that I haven't shown in the video, and about another 80 that have gone into the library that I haven't shown because I just haven't. I don't know what it is, lady. I just haven't stopped. Bloody stupid.
I did a clear out about a month ago of all the stuff I'd upgrade to 4K, so I got all my Blu-rays and just took it down. And a few other things like some old games I'd finished in that, and I got like £90. I was like, oh shit, £90. That's like, I don't know what. I must have put something in there that I didn't realise because I was tallying up some of them. They're coming up for like 10p. I was like, no, I'll keep that.
Like, you know, when it gets to a penny or something, you just don't want to trade them in because you feel like getting. Although sometimes you think, I may as well get rid of it.
You're going to sell that? You're going to sell that? Nope. You're going to sell that? Nope. I'll keep telling her I'm going to sell it. You know, I'll pay you some bills. Nope.
I'd never sell that if I had that. I was hovering over that. I was hovering over. I had to cart with that for so long, and I thought, no, I can't afford it.
So the last CX pickup I got was this bad boy, the Batman thing.
Oh, nice.
They got that in my local. I want that.
So I only got this. It's nice and hard as well. Just like me. No. But yeah, I only got that because of the vouchers because I wasn't going to pay it normally. But what Rob and I have had an idea of with regards to doing new content is that he's, funnily enough, I told him I got that. He went, oh, it's rubbish. So he rang us today and he went, yeah, I've been in my little CX and I've got that box set that you've got. But he just told me you didn't like. He says, no, I picked it up. I was like, fuck, dick. So anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to go to the 3 series. So we're going to do a hat. We're going to go 1, 2, and 3, pick a series out, and then 1 to 40 or whatever it is, and pick an episode out. And we're going to do a live watch. So him and I watch like this, but with the TV in the background, so nobody can see it. And then somebody else could. They're only like 20-minute episodes, 25 minutes, and then we can just have a laugh about it because they're all really cheesy. We all know that.
Yeah.
And it's just
I watched the movie leading up to the Batman. Cause I watched all through them all. I hadn't seen it since I was a kid. But when I was a kid, and I mean like a kid, this is before I'd seen '89 Batman. I was like, oh, this is awesome. I'd not seen that film since I was about 7, and I was like, what the hell is this?
I like it when they're climbing up walls and people lean out the windows. You can see their body weights like this, they're just like leaning sideways and stuff.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Tell you what, shall we jump in the comments because I feel like we've done the introduction there. Bristolian Dave's here, all right, me babbers. So, all right, Dave, I can't. I'm not even going to do a Bristol. Can I do a Bristol accent? No, I don't think I can. No, I'm not even going to attempt it. No, it's not going to happen. Not going to happen. We've got Matt H here. He spoke, evening, gents. That's quite the intro, Paul. Yeah, fuck's sake. What are you doing, Pete?
Just showing them slowly what I've picked up. Dark Crystal Steelbook.
What movie would you say has the best 3D? There we go.
Avatar.
Yeah, I would see Avatar as well.
Actually, the Lorax as well.
Okay.
I've never seen 3D like it. Just the menu screen at the start of the Lorax. Fucking hell.
I would probably also say My Bloody Valentine, the remake.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Watched it.
The last film I remember watching in 3D and it put me off going to another 3D watch was Resident Evil Afterlife, I think it was, one with the guy with the big hammer in the bathroom.
In the shower, yeah.
Yeah, and I was watching it, I was like, this is not good.
The 3D sucked, but the audio in that scene was amazing.
Yeah.
The best 3D cinematic experience I've ever had is me and two of my mates went to see Piranha 3D at the cinema. And it was, obviously, we all know I love Kelly Brook, and she's in the underwater swimming naked, and this is 3D. We were like 2 rows from the front, so the screen is like there. And honestly, man, you need to get a mop because there was so much drool on the floor. It was shocking. Yeah, I think because we made tapped me on his shoulder and went, "This is the best film I've ever seen." Now, yes, it is.
It went from 3D to 4DX.
Oh, yeah. And the rest. Honestly, it was just that. So as soon as I got my 3D telly, the wife's like, "What are you getting that Piranha 3D?" Oh, why does everybody watch that? Isn't that not shit?
I don't know, but I got it for my birthday.
Okay. Happy birthday again for last Monday, by the way.
Thank you.
Good. Happy birthday.
Fabric sent me that. He was a buy.
Well, here he is. Right, Rob, you're a knob.
Hey, Rob, you're dead meat.
What's happened? What?
Oh, what's happened? My arse has been was live.
It's now
The funny
forever
thing is-
cemented on the internet.
The funny thing is, there was a lot of stuff I done through the day. He found out, and I'm thinking, shit. So I removed the first intro because I thought he'd find out, and changed it 3 minutes before we went live.
You absolute bellend.
That's good.
You need to go back after this is finished and watch your reaction.
Why?
I was laughing in the restaurant.
Because I was like, oh, I've got to stop it. I don't know what I'm going to do. Fucking.
That was
So you're
funny.
sitting waiting for a delivery to be made? Or
I
cake,
think
or...
I'm sitting in the car park for a bit. I can stay for a bit.
I don't want you to.
Thanks.
He don't like you anymore.
No,
Nice, isn't it?
no twat. Can you all hear me all right? Because Matt said that my audio isn't that good.
You've got a slight crack going on, that's all.
It's crackle. It's what happened last time. You got your headphones in.
Yes.
You got to take them out because when I played back our bounty video, it's the crackling you can hear on it because it's your headphone.
Okay.
So I kept calling out. I thought it was me, but it was you.
It's always
Let me have
you,
a
Rob.
check then.
It's always you.
Sorry.
Let me turn these off then. And then let me plug this in.
That's the same price as $9.84 on its own, so I just thought get them both again.
Well, you get one good film, one absolute terrible one, so you're cool.
Well, you can pick up the 4K Steelbook of the second one on Amazon for £12 at the moment.
Is it? Yeah. I don't think
Yeah,
I'll pay
I
that.
figure I could waste £12, but yeah.
Is this any better?
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah, you're fine, yeah.
Do you know, I've collected a lot of these DC, but I haven't watched one of them yet.
Yeah,
I went through a mad phase of getting loads of DC animated movies like a year or two ago.
It's like I did with the Studio Ghibli. I bought the whole fucking lot at once and then sold it about a month later.
The problem got with the DC ones. There's some fantastic ones, but some of them, a lot of them are shit, and they've just given you an updated cover. The cover looks amazing, and you put the film on, it's like a film from the 70s.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well,
It's a bit like
I
Arrow
love
films.
all of them.
I had a big clear out. I don't know if anyone knows. I traded all my Arrow films in.
You
See, yeah.
What? When he called me, I would have bought some.
I had a £750 credit note,
Oh, wow.
and I bought an Xbox, so my Xbox died.
A new Xbox.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So for me, I've kept like Killer Clans, the ones that means that the ones that were gifted to me. I've kept all them ones, but they're all just sitting there. And obviously with the Arrow sale, where you're getting them for $7.99, a lot of these were trading in for more than I paid for them.
This is the thing with Arrow. Like, if I've got Arrow films, it's because I just like the film. I've never gone out my way to just buy a film just because it's an Arrow release, where a lot of people seem to do that. Like, you've got so many crap films there. But, you know what I mean? Like, just because Arrow have put it out doesn't mean it's a good movie.
Yeah, again, it's the cover problem with Arrow. It's all visual. You look at the box and think that's cool. That is a really cool film, and it's balls.
Yeah.
My problem is I keep buying too many of the same thing. You know, just got Game of Thrones, and I just picked up a steelbook of Game of Thrones for some reason. Why?
What season?
Season 2.
Oh,
So now I've got to get all of them.
Fucking hell, man. Do you? Do you really, though?
Yeah. I think this was a conversation we were having before. We were talking about trying to cut back on spending that because you go down such a rabbit hole. It's ridiculous.
Exactly.
I had that in 4K, but I can't find it in 4K at the moment. What else?
Is it the case for you, Pete, just having it, or because you like the films?
I'm a hoarder, mate. Because before Christmas, I sold probably about 500 films. So I was actually like below 4,000, which just didn't sit well with my brain. So I've probably picked up about 300 since Christmas.
well, I've got about 22 Shudder films now. Changed them all to red cases. I've watched about 6 of them, and they've all been shit. I keep. The thing is, it reminds me of an old like the 80s kind of the horror channel. But they're cool releases. But they're
low
nothing.
runs, so they'll keep their value because there's not that many around. Yeah.
Do they release their own Blu-rays now? Should they?
Yeah, there's 22 released, but the earlier ones but there's ones like The Host. You know the Blair Witchy kind of
Oh, I
one.
like that. Yeah, I like that one. That was quite
In
cool.
America, That's under Shudder release. Over
Okay.
here, it's not. So I'm only getting UK ones. Put them in the red boxes because they look cool with the spines. Like Psycho Gorman was probably the higher brow one out of all of them.
That's
Yeah.
highbrow. We're fucked.
Yeah. Adult Power Rangers.
The host was that like the 80s sort of throwback movie?
No, Host is the one where they're all in lockdown and there's now a seance across the internet. It's the one that's only on for an hour.
Yeah, I'm thinking of something else. I'm thinking of another film.
You got another
You're talking about
big creature. There's a few hosts.
Yeah, there's one that on the cover. I can imagine there's like tentacles coming.
Yeah.
And I think I watched that. It was like a proper 80s throwback movie, and I really enjoyed it.
That's the Korean one, isn't it? When they're looking over the water and the creature drops on the bridge into the water and chases them down the road. That's cool.
Yeah.
That looks mad, doesn't it?
That's the one that
Korean.
the guy who directed Parasite, isn't it?
No, I don't think so. Is it? I don't know.
Did he do Train to Busan?
No. So anyway, I'm missing these here. Lee's here, all right, Lee. I thought it was Paul's face. I couldn't tell the difference. Thanks very much.
Your headphones are fucking up again on it. Get them out.
Paul's drinking so his guests are better looking. Yes, it's true. Especially when it comes to Rob. Fucking hell.
So is he saying we're not good looking?
But yeah, my granddad does understand these streams. He calls it more on TV. Well, your grandfather knows as well. This is more on TV. Oh, there we go. Didn't take long. 22 minutes in, and he's exploded. Jules here. Good evening, gents. How are we doing? Yep, we're all good. Thanks, Jules. What have I got here? Just saw your piles on Facebook, Pete. Looked painful. Hope you've seen the doctor about them.
Well, piles of films, maybe.
Yeah, that's what he's on about.
Better be.
I can smell that shit from here.
Yeah, he's a bit. Your hair's going a bit grey now.
So last week, just remember, last week, Lee ridiculed me because we got beaten 5-1 by Spurs. This week, Southampton got beaten 6-0 by Chelsea. Is that right, Pete?
I couldn't give a fuck about Saints. They're wankers.
Okay, fair enough.
Every time they get a good player, they sell him. So why even support them?
When was the last time they had... Oh, Tadic.
Anybody. Only time I ever support Saints is when I'm looking at somebody from Pompey so I can punch them.
Okay.
Is this a fucking film stream or what? Or a football stream?
Oh, sorry, you can leave if you want.
Can I
You
go
do
and
another
talk
one.
about WWE 2K22? I can't stop playing.
No.
Oh.
Crown.
I like Paul as well.
What's that, WWE?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 2K22 is awesome, man. I've not been able to come off it.
I haven't played that yet.
It's cool. Enjoying it.
I'm not a wrestling game fan. I think I had one ages and ages ago for like the original Xbox.
I think I prefer the games to the actual stuff on television.
Yeah. I bought it on Xbox One, and then as a new X version. Obviously, you can do the X upgrade for free, but then I bought the NWO pack, which I have to buy again for £24. It won't let me change that over.
So who put a video up about that? Was it Screen Stars put a video up about the DLC? It was like £20 for like 4 extra characters or something.
Yeah. Fucking hell. That's DLC fucking you over, isn't it?
Yeah, it's naughty that.
Jules put next week is a big week for her. It's the return of the sexy beast.
I'm here.
I think we all know that Jules has got a soft spot for Durant. Here you go. Who's the sexy beast? Dave Durant, aka Durant Cinema. Yeah. Just nice and hard. It's not like you.
He's a redneck.
What films would you say are the best for sound?
Interstellar. If I ever bought a new soundbar or something, I put on Interstellar at the start of that. That'll test your equipment out.
I would probably say the only time I've ever really boosted something up was with my dad when he had his first got his surround sound installed. Not with Dolby Atmos, not with bouncing off the walls. It's like old school. You've got the big receiver and you've got everything. And I put Gladiator on, obviously, and it's the first fight. And he goes, as one, and they're going round and they go, it's like that bit, and then he's like, they're all coming. The horse flips over with the cart. That bit is just
not even like Jewel of Faith. What bit? I hate Attack of the Clones, but the bit where they come out the arena to Geonosis on the little, and the music kicks in. That's quality.
But I think, I mean, for music and sound wise, you're going to have to look at newer titles, I think, as opposed to older titles.
Not
So I mean,
I like when Charlie Sheen comes in Major League. I like the way that guitar riff really builds up. If you turn it up loud enough, that's really good.
I mean,
That's
if you
very
look at something like Dune will probably have great Atmos sound or some kind of like top.
Dune was pulling the paint off your walls, man.
All the
But then
bass and
look at
everything.
sound with something like Quiet Place. So there's not much going on, but you're hearing everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like,
well, maybe on a
Quiet
laptop
Place is
right
quite a
now.
good shout, to be fair, actually. Quiet Place is a good shout.
I may be on a laptop right now, but when I finish hooking my PC back up, I've also added a 720 watt sound system to it. So instead of a shitty little soundbar.
Oh.
And I just tested it downstairs and it nearly took my back doors off. So I don't know why the fuck I'm putting it in here.
To be fair, your back doors went off 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, they did, yeah. So
I always, because I had a soundbar and I upgraded to like an LG 3D surround system the start of last year. And every time I'm watching a film, my girlfriend, I'd be like cranking up a little bit more to see how long it takes her to notice.
Yeah,
I'll get to like 25 on, it's like, turn it down.
It's the same. The kids go away.
They turn it up more, do they? Just
The
like,
kids will go away to my
But
parents.
they never say that in the cinema. They don't look at me and go, turn it down.
Exactly. But the only time I get to put a soundbar on when the kids aren't here, and I'll put it on, and I'll put a film on, and the wife will be pottering as she does or whatever she does, and she'll come down and go, you can tell when the kids aren't here and you want to watch a film, can't you? Your lucky next door neighbours are deaf. I'm just like, well, I don't mind. But I do need to get better sound. I've just got, about 80 to 90 quid like Samsung soundbar. It's got no Atmos. So it's just, but it's still rattly when the bass comes through.
just my speakers were 1,500.
Just send us your old ones and Pete, I'll take them off you.
You wait till I get my next TV. I'm going to get a laser TV.
a what TV?
A laser TV. I don't even know what a laser TV is.
What's a laser TV?
For a TV.
Laser.
You got a shark with lasers there as well.
They last 28,000 hours. It's like 15 years without any degradation.
I remember I had a rear projection TV, and a friend come over when I was at work and paused it with Dirt Diggler from Boogie Nights, and I had a cock burnt into my screen every time it went off. And I tried to have the fuzzy stuff to get rid of it. It said it was there forever. I sold it, and I was like, "What's that?" I was nothing. It's just a bit dirty. Stick on the screen.
What do you mean the end of Boogie Nights? That particular scene.
Look at the
He's
mirror.
in front of the mirror. Yeah. Okay.
So he paused it while I was at work.
That's like Fight Club, they're interspersed that one frame of a dick in the kids' cinema films. Remember that?
I could do that in a minute. Hold on.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
We've already done it once tonight. Look at
Jesus.
these fucking stickers with bloody CX. Look.
I don't understand how much they must get complaint after complaint after complaint, but they carry on consistently doing it.
A sticker on this. I tried to peel off. It's just sticky.
No,
It's horrible. Like I don't understand why they do it.
I'll tell you, every time it works for me is you script it off as much as you can. So there's like little bits there. Then I just get a circular cotton pad from the wife when she takes the nail varnish off. Nail varnish remover on the cotton pad. And does it? It comes off, no problem.
Yeah. It's easier on steel books as well.
Yeah, I mean, luckily, like when I got this one, like Rob got, there was only the sticker on the bottom, but it came off no bother at all. So
sometimes you're lucky, sometimes they just fly off. Other ones, you like they look absolute a nightmare.
You're feeling it, and you're hearing it.
Yeah, you're ripping it like, oh!
And then you try to go from the other side, didn't you?
Yeah.
fucking
You have like one thumbnail, just let that grow nicely. The nail.
But then you scraped it off with your thumbnail, but gone into the slip as well.
There's an idea for a YouTube video. Top 5 tips to get CX stickers off.
Yeah, this is how you
get
on. Anyone seen that?
No.
No?
Saying that, you say about CX stickers. I know it's game related, but Game put stickers on their disc, didn't they? Have you ever tried to get them off sometimes?
No, I know what you're talking about.
They don't come off.
I used to buy just the discs on eBay that Love Film used to have. So people would just sell them, and I'd try to rip that little Love Film bit off in the middle.
In the middle.
Oh, yeah, what a nightmare that was. Then I went to because they just pile them on top of each other, and I'm like, I can't get them open anymore.
This is your new stuff, Pete. What's this?
I've got about 50, 60 pickups I ain't shown anyone, so I'm just ambling them in the background.
I was fuming with that because he sent me the code for that, and it was expired. Fuming.
What is that? How much that'll cost you? Then? Just stuff that's you got cheap or what?
What? All of them?
Yeah. Is that 1 week's pickups?
Wow, about 130 in 3 weeks.
Fuck's sake.
And I can't even buy one fucking film.
You can, you just can't hide them all in the car.
Oh, true, yeah.
Why would you buy John Bishop?
My missus hates him. I've got his other 3. I just had to get it because it annoys the missus. I've got to get series 1 before I can start watching that though. That's series 2. So I'm terrible. I don't even know where half my shit's gone.
Is everyone excited? Is everyone up to date with Moon Knight yet?
Yes.
No.
What we think? The thing is, people know about Iron Man. People know about these characters, WandaVision and Loki. No one really knows about Moon Knight. It's just the first time we've got a live action show about a character that not everyone knows about. And I'm really enjoying it. I think the second episode is better than the first.
I agree. I prefer the second episode. My only sort of criticism, it's a complete nitpick as well, just on my behalf. I hope the next episode we really see him in action. There's only 6 episodes to it. That's all. That's because I know there's only 6 episodes to it. So for the 3rd episode, I want to see him. I want to see him what he can actually do.
It's going to be because if you think of like WandaVision, that's kind of linked into the new Doctor Strange.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, with Winter Soldier, it brings him to be Captain America, so there's a purpose to it. With Hawkeye, it's just kind of in the background. But with Moon Knight, I'm thinking, how are they going to integrate that into like a live-action movie?
Both don't need to.
Because if they're in the same universe, nobody kind of mentioned. Yeah, they haven't mentioned other kind of like superheroes as such, have they?
Yeah, I think that's sort of just like a. Yeah, I know what you're saying. It's like, where has he been the whole time? For 10 years of MCU movies, sort of thing.
And plus, how's he going to link in with it?
Yeah, well, you got to think like the next sort of Avengers movie, if they do one, you're going to have like Kate Bishop, Moon Knight, the Eternals.
You're saying that. Aren't they doing a TV show, Secret Wars?
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, they are. Yeah,
the next real big Avengers film, though. Really, I think.
Is that what they're doing?
It might be a series rather than a film. I think we'll get standalone films, and the event where everyone's together is going to be a series.
Can you guys see this film?
Yeah, why?
It's a shit film, and they can't even be asked to get the sticker centrally on the disc. It's all like $0.5 mil this side and about 5 mil that side. Can't see it too well, but fucking hell.
If you look at the print on our film compared to that, perfect.
Yeah, look at that cover. Look how shit it looks.
So, Paul, have you seen our film?
I've seen what?
Our film.
Your film?
Yes, the one that me, Rob, and everybody made.
I've not, no.
Okay.
Don't miss Mark.
You're in for a treat.
Are we watching it?
It's based on E.T.
I watched that today, Special ID. I literally watched that this morning. That is a great. I've been on a bit of a martial arts kick the last couple of days. That is a kick-ass film. That was.
Donnie Yen, amazing guy.
Donnie Yen, man, was sick in that film.
Yeah, but you think that's good? Wait and see ours.
It's a 20-minute film we made. Big Paul is in it. Jamie Powell's in it. Lee's in it, and it's a bit. It's called They Nonce. Based on They Live.
You know what? I think I clicked on it and I was like, what is going on here? I'll get back to it.
Yeah. It's basically Netflix released Jimmy Savile British Horror Story. This is the sequel.
Yeah.
And it has got a physical release as well on disc.
Yeah, Jim will fist it for you.
Yeah.
Right, anyway, quickly moving on. Jamie's here, the Batman. Evening Legends, the Batman is in the house. Hi, Jamie. Thanks for tuning in, my friend.
How many times did you watch Batman on the big screen?
Once.
Good film.
Did you watch it once?
I don't like it.
No, the Batman, the dude,
Yeah.
Batman. I want to know how many times you have to watch
Oh,
it.
right, he's watched it.
I think you've seen it 3 times. I think.
Yeah, 3
Oh,
times
okay.
I think he's seen it. Yeah,
Okay.
Rob didn't like the Batman.
What?
The thing is, the opening 20 minutes is fantastic. It's brilliant. Like, it's the best Batman I've seen. I'm still an Affleck fan. I like to see where it's going. The bit with the reveal at the end was pointless. They don't need to keep bringing him into the DC films. Bring new characters. There's so many new characters. There's so many old characters, and I want to see Clayface. I want to see Hush. All these characters we can bring in. Just stop rehashing the new ones. And I just feel like it was
Didn't need to be a penguin, did it? You know,
well, it's the origins. People saying, it's good that they've not put the origins about his mum and dad, but the whole film's about his mum and dad. Do you know what I mean? It's like I'll wait for HBO Max and I'll give it another go and I'll buy it to complete my.
Man. I went to see it 5 times, mate. I thought it was a masterpiece, mate. I absolutely could not. I went to watch it every day for 5 days because I was doing morning shifts in work. I was doing 6 a.m. till 1 p.m. And the cinema, my local cinema, is literally across the road from where I work. So I was finishing work and just going over and watching it again. I was obsessed with it. I thought it was so good.
Does that mean then if you buy it, you're going to watch it again? Or is it going to be one of those things because you've seen it so many times that you need to wait a few more months?
No, I'll get that day one. That of all the films that I'll probably get day one this year, that'll be one 100% will.
Steelbook or just normal?
I've ordered the HMV Steelbook. What I am going to try not to do though is it's going on HBO Max in a couple of days. I'm going to try and not sail the 7 seas for it and just hang on till I see it in proper 4K on disc. I'm going to try not to watch it when it drops online because I did that with Spider-Man because that dropped early. I just waited for the 4K to drop through the post and watched it then. Just so there's a bit longer of time from watching it the last time I watched it.
That's my big
only regret.
Ghostbusters. I love Ghostbusters, and see that it really. I loved Ghostbusters cinema. When I watched it indoors, it kind of dropped a little bit for me.
I think it's because you know what the film is now. I think you do. I think film fans do that a lot, like franchise film fans, because you're getting the buzz of seeing it for the first time and maybe the second and third. Once you're past that, you're still enjoying it. It's an excellent film, but you know what's coming. You know what's coming.
Yeah.
Anticlimactic, maybe.
Yeah, like I had that with Ghostbusters. Like the first time I watched it, I was like, "This is incredible." Then I got it. I watched it when it came out on 4K, and I enjoyed it, but I was like, because I knew what was coming.
Yeah,
it didn't hit as hard. I think it's the same with maybe like films where there's like a reveal in it. Once you've seen it for the first time, you're never going to have that first
it's the
time.
same with Spider-Man.
Again.
I've got my mate who hasn't seen it. He doesn't even know because he doesn't read social media that the other 2 guys are in it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to get him to come around here one night. I'm going to put it on, and I want to watch his reaction because obviously I know it's coming. So it's nice when you know that someone else likes the movies and to see that coming in, or and the Ghostbusters when that character comes back in the end of Ghostbusters to see that person's reaction. I'm looking forward to that when he watches that. But you're right with it going down to HBO Max. I watched Dune. I didn't go to the cinema to see Dune. I just saw that off HBO Max. And obviously, but then I got it 4K as well, and I watched it again in 4K. But that's the only film of late that I regret not going to the cinema to see.
See, I watched it on HBO Max first, and then went to the cinema to watch it. And I wish I did went to the cinema first. I can't remember why I didn't go. I think I was supposed to go with one of my mates, and he sort of backed out. And I was like, I'm just going to watch it on the 7 Seas, and I then went to watch it again on the big screen, and it was amazing.
One of my favourite cinema experiences, change of subject, it's a weird one, is Starship Troopers.
Okay.
When I see that when it come out, it blew my mind because I didn't expect anything from it, and really, I still think about it now. I love it. Sorry about change something. Just think about it.
Do you remember Britannia magazine, where Britannia, like when you could get like videos and they're on the back of like TV guides, and you could get like 3 for 2 on it, and it was like a postal service. It's back in the day. That was the very first film I ever got on. Well, one of the very first films I ever got on VHS was Starship Troopers through that.
I can remember that, yeah.
Do you remember? And you could get it was on the back of like TV guides and stuff.
Yeah. You can order a catalogue as well, and they
yeah.
and all sorts of weird shit.
And then we're getting Starship Troopers and Alien Resurrection.
Oh well, one good, one bad.
Mate, I can't say a bad word for most of it. I think the cast, the crew in Alien Resurrection. I know it's not
Alien
the best.
Erection. It's not that kind of film.
Alien Resurrection cast is up there with the cast from Aliens, but the film's nowhere near as good. But the crew of the Betty, I think they're really good crew, but the film is shocking.
I don't mind Alien Resurrection. I can have fun with it. It doesn't insult me. But it's nowhere near as good as the first two. But
the guy they take with him when he's got one inside him,
yeah,
he's awful in it. And the crew, the guy in the wheelchair did me head in, and then the Ron Perlman I don't like anyway, so that did nothing for me. And then the Doctor, and it felt like me. Alien Resurrection was like Matrix Resurrections. It was not needed.
And people kick off about AVP and that being shit, but the Queen at the end of AVP looks fantastic. Yeah. It's an amazing scene. It looks better than the Queen in Aliens, obviously, but people just disregard them. Although Requiem is one of the darkest films ever made. I don't know why it's so dark. You can have fun in, I think, every one of the shit. I think number 2's underrated. Number 2, Predator 2 is really good. All this it's good sequels out there. People just don't care for them.
I've got a massive amount of love for Alien 3. I just love Alien 3. I think it's really, really good because the fact of, even though they kind of changed it, that it came out with a dog, so that when that alien and that xenomorph is coming, it's got the speed of a dog because it inherits the characteristics of its host. I like that when it's running down. But then then the director's cut came out of a cow. So then
that's right,
the director's cut is a better film. I don't know, but I just
at the beginning when he picks up the facehugger on the ship, it's a royal facehugger. So that facehugger can plant embryos.
Yeah.
That's why that facehugger can plant a queen. That's why Ripley had the queen, and the dog also had one because the facehugger's different legs. There's so much lore after that film come out that people don't notice in the background.
I just think it's a great film. It gets a lot of diss because it's got kind of like the aliens ferocity of Aliens, but it's also got the claustrophobia of Alien, and I like that. I thought David Fincher did a great job on it, to be honest. Especially the director's cut. I think it gets a lot of hate that it's not needed. But everyone has different tastes, but either way it's better than Alien Resurrection.
I can have fun with all of them, to be fair. Just they're never gonna they're like the Terminator films are never gonna top the first two. Never, ever. In our lifetime we'll see a better film than Terminator 2 in that franchise. But I can have fun with the sequel. Like they're harmless, they don't offend me.
Does 3 not offend you?
Yeah, well, to be fair, Dark Fate offended me when he was a fucking Drake fitter or whatever the fuck.
No, but
Three's awful.
I had fun with the Drakes more than because you just know at this point it ain't gonna be good.
You know what's Terminator 1? I see him in that and then see him as a fucking Drake fitter. I was like, but there's bits in them all, though, isn't it? There's like I like the first maybe half an hour of Genesis. And then once they go to like San Francisco, I'm like, I'm out of this film. I'm done with it.
But look at T3.
See, I don't mind anything apart from 3.
The end of T3. The end of T3 and they get to the bunker.
Yeah.
It was like shocking. Oh, God, this is cool. And it started getting going. It got good at the end. It's not the best ending. But obviously, I really have a trouble with Salvation. I don't like Bell. I really don't like Salvation. I mean, that's the worst one.
I like the idea of what they were trying to do with it. I think just the aesthetic of that film. Yeah. If they captured the aesthetic of the past, the future of the original film, like the dark with the purple lasers. Now, if they had that in Salvation, I think it would have been a better film. It looks more like Mad Max and Terminator.
Okay. I tell you what, Pete, you hear?
What?
Jules says, what?
Well, I haven't been online for so long. I said I would do a little thing. That's what I'm giving away tonight. All right? Moana 4K. Steelbook. But I haven't figured out a question. So if one of us can figure out a decent question, the first person who answers it in the comments wins, yeah?
Okay. Well, you've only got 17 people watching, so you've got somebody doing it. It's got a 1 in 17 chance.
Well, yeah.
So can we enter it? Oh no, we can't enter it because I'll probably do the question. So I already know the answer, so let's not do that.
But it's still sealed, so that's the prize for tonight. That's the other thing I'm just going to start doing. I've been giving away too much what I would call fodder. So it's going to be better films. I'm going to give one film away a week, but it's going to be a higher price film.
Do you not just want to pull it out of your little minions instead?
Wow, might do.
Pull it out your head.
Okay. Yeah. But anyway, Jules says happy birthday for you, and you're a beautiful man.
I know I am. Thank you, Jules.
Jim is here. Good evening, fellas. Hope we're all well. What's your next pickup?
Scream.
Yeah, probably Scream as well. At some point when it comes out to CX and I can use my voucher.
I did have the Steelbook pre-ordered, but I cancelled it. I'm just going to get the standard one now, I think.
I'm just getting the Blu-ray. I'm not even going to get 4K because the rest of the ones I've got are in Blu-ray.
For what?
Scream.
Jamie bought me Spider-Man 4K for my birthday.
He did.
And I still
He's a good man.
Have
Have you ever watched it? Full stop?
No, I've been told I've got to finish the library before I'm allowed to watch it. So it's finish the library and keep my cock, or watch the film and get it cut off. So
Okay. Don't know what to say to that. Next question: are we all going to watch The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, the new Nicolas Cage film?
I'll go check it out. It looks funny. It's getting quite good early reviews as well, to be fair.
I started watching
it's
Pig.
better than being John Malkovich, I think.
I started watching Pig and I couldn't get into it, so I didn't finish it. And everybody raves about that being one of his most recent ones. See, my favourite, most recent one of his is Willy's Wonderland. I love that.
Is this a Cage Rage film? Is that his thing he's doing now, isn't it?
No,
Well,
this
he's
one is where he plays himself.
Yeah, he's sort of himself taking the piss out of himself.
The Woods Mandalorian, isn't he?
Yeah,
The Mandalorian's party or something. That's right.
Pedro
Yeah.
Pascal.
That's him. Wasn't he in Narcos? Is it Narcos? Narcos.
Yeah.
He was in
That's
Wonder
him,
Woman.
wasn't it?
He was in Wonder Woman. Fucking hell.
He
He was
yeah.
also in Wonder Woman 84.
Awful.
Yeah, that was my film.
Scotty T's in the house. Mr. Tobin's here. I hope you're all right there, Scott. Scott's not going through a good time at the minute, so I hope that he's all right. We've got here Shandy. Evening, guys. Glad to catch you live. Been watching some old streams recently. Oh, cheers. Thank you very much. James put Starship Troopers was an awesome cinema experience for him too. He was 14 and the film was an 18, and my mum snuck him in. The sequels just didn't get anywhere near as good. But I think Rob likes 3.
No, I like 3. I hate 2. 2 is
Which
shit.
is like the animated one.
4 and 5 Invasion, and there's 5. Yeah, and yeah, there's two CG ones.
I can't remember which one I gave you.
Invasion.
I still haven't seen the Resident Evil animated one yet on Netflix. That's
I
really what about
enjoyed
CG.
I enjoyed it.
The
I think they're better than the live actions.
the Blu-rays are edited into a film, not episodes.
Okay. Oh yeah, I forgot because you got that, didn't you?
Yes, it's better than.
Yeah.
I traded in. I got rid of Welcome to Raccoon City yesterday. I'm the biggest Resident Evil fan there is. I don't know why I bought it. I got rid of it. Almost gave it away. It's shit.
I've come around to that film. To be honest with you.
I traded in my Matrix
It is shit. Don't get me wrong. It's a terrible film, but when I get films like that, I always think to myself, the amount of shit films that I actually enjoy. Do you know, like if you go back and look at the films you enjoyed as a kid and see like what the rate on Rotten Tomatoes, they're not good. They're not good films. You've just got nostalgia for them, and you've got to sort of put yourself in that headspace with these shit. Like you get entertainment out of them. There's shit, but I don't know. There's bits in it I enjoy. There's a lot of it that I don't.
It's a short film that's. I find it really boring. The Wesker annoyed me.
Yeah, West is terrible.
It ends just the director's cut or the extended cut of Resi 2 game ends. Just ends. Yeah. The Birkin bits were okay. The eye looked cool. Just the Leon, the way he's just talking to him like he's a dick. But the whole film was like.
I don't know what they were thinking. I tell you what, I do know what they were thinking though, because I watched an interview with the director who saying, well, you know, in real life, if he's a rookie cop, he won't be like how he is in the games. And like, yeah, but that is what he's like in the games. Like, you can't change the character just because you feel that's not what he should be like, what he's like in the games.
It's just like
I enjoyed it for what it was.
Yeah, it's crap, but I can stick it on for 90 minutes and have a laugh of it.
whilst we enjoy stuff because that's okay, I enjoyed what it was. I enjoyed bits in it. You know, we've got a TV show which I'm worried about in a few weeks on Netflix. It's like I said before, I don't think horror games to film they don't work because when you're playing a game, you're going around that corner, you're running out of bullets. When you're watching a film, you are literally just following a path, and there's no suspense. So I don't think like if they made a Dead Space film, I love Dead Space. I know they made some animated films.
Yeah,
I think survival horror works better as a rated R animated film than it ever will live action. But saying that, Silent Hill was good. I enjoyed the first Silent Hill film.
yeah. I enjoyed the first Silent Hill film. I enjoyed Mortal Kombat as well.
Mortal Kombat's
The old
awesome.
one.
Good. Oh,
No, the new one.
But the thing is with like these game films, my mate says it best. He goes, "We get fed shit and expect to call it caviar." My mate always says that about movies. He goes, "People all, even myself, I do it. I'm like, oh, I've come round to it." It's like, no, don't come round to it. It's just shit film. If you keep telling like film, if you buy it and you're telling the creator that it's a good film by buying it, then they're going to keep churning out more bollocks.
yeah, they make money. I quite like Doom. I like Doom. I don't know if any of you guys like it. I enjoyed Doom, the first one.
It's funnily enough, right? I've just got that out of the loft to watch. This is my region 1 I got from Canada to watch it again. I haven't seen it in a long time. That's the one you're on about, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I've got that to watch again. So.
I like the first person scene there. That was cool.
I've got both of them, but I haven't watched them yet.
The second one's the Doom Annihilation, is it? I think it's called.
I got it, yeah.
That's a bad film, that.
Oh, he's gone.
Oh, it's probably because his signal might have gone or something. Actually, it's a question. But have either of you seen this? Because I've had it from Poundland for ages and I never watched it.
Got it.
No, have you seen it? Never mind.
Schwarzenegger in that?
No, it's Anna Taylor-Joy, I think it is.
I've not seen that one. Then I'm thinking of another film. I'm thinking like the zombie Arnold Schwarzenegger one with his daughter in.
Maggie.
Oh, that's
Maggie.
Yeah, that's right.
Have you seen that one, Rob?
I've never heard of it. No.
I've got Maggie as well.
Looks all right.
It's one of his best acted ones, if you ask me. He actually showed some emotion.
Let's go comments up because we're back. Predators is the most underrated film ever made. It's underappreciated, in my opinion. The best Predator. Oh, Jamie, how can you say Predators is the best Predator film ever? You know,
can't
we all love
put
it.
Adrian Brody in the same sentence. Come on now.
But he can't be pianist.
I need one liners.
Prick that he is.
I'll say Predators makes the Predator. Well, I should have said the Predator makes Predators look like a bloody Oscar-winning film. I did not like the fourth one. Predators, I come around to. The Predators. I went to the cinema to watch. Didn't like it. Watched it again when it come out to buy and enjoyed it more. It's never. You're never going to top the first two. No. I will say the first two because I don't understand the hate for Predator 2.
I love Gary Busey in the second one.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I mean, I do like, apart from the Predator dogs, I do like the Predator.
My problem with the Predator is I don't like the creature design of Predator is a perfect design, yet they keep trying to up the ante with it. I'm like, you don't need to change that Stan Winston's creation, the Predator. You don't need to change that, and they keep making super Predators and bigger ones. And I'm like,
when's the new one out?
What's the new one? It's not even called Predator. Is it called Hunt or something? What's the new one called?
Prey.
Prey,
yeah,
sorry.
Prey, that was it, yeah.
Right, yeah. I'm quite intrigued by that.
Aboriginal or kind of like Amazonian, isn't it?
Neanderthal,
yeah.
Or something. Yeah. That looks quite good.
It'll be awful, but we'll still go and watch it, won't we?
Yeah.
And then we'll slate it to high heaven once we've watched it.
Yeah.
Then we'll all buy it.
Exactly.
4K steelbook.
Yeah, exactly.
Not 35 quid, I won't.
Here we go. So I'm going to go, because Paul's the guest technically. What's your favourite war film?
I'm not really a big fan of war movies. Saving Private Ryan, it's the most obvious one, I suppose. But I've probably seen every mainstream war film there is, that being one of them. That's probably the best one that I've watched myself. Yeah.
Pete?
Battle of Britain.
Fair enough.
or The Longest Day?
Rob's going to say, "Ooh, see if I know Rob well enough here." Oh,
Something with Popeye in it.
Full Metal Jacket.
Is it? Yeah, that's a good shout.
Is that right, Rob?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I'll tell you which one that I thought is a very underrated one. Is that Hacksaw Ridge that you don't really hear a lot of people talking about. With Andrew Garfield in it. Well, that was a really good film.
Funny enough, for my next video, I've actually got that right here to do one of my next videos. So that's already ready to go. I don't know. I think for me, I enjoyed 1917. I like Saving Private Ryan, but
The
there was-
Pearl Harbor.
the fucking Pearl Harbor. The 800, the Japanese one or Korean one, I forgot what it is really good.
That's on Sky.
Is it?
Yeah.
I definitely recommend you watch it. I bought that. I was a blind buy
I
and I
remember
watched
talking about it a while ago, and it come up on Sky the other day, and it clicked into me like where I'd heard people talk about it. I'm pretty sure it was yourself.
I talked it up when the trailer first came out. I said, "Fuck, watch this trailer. It looks absolutely nuts."
It is good. No, what was it that I watched? There's one I watched recently. I can't remember now. I mean, Saving Private Ryan is very, very good, and I won't diss it. Rob's gone again.
Maybe he's shaving Ryan's privates.
That's it, yeah. But no, I mean, like, I think Casualties of War is Platoon. I think it's probably Platoon is probably my favorite war film. I love Platoon. Such a good film, and that doesn't get talked about enough. I don't think.
I think like Apocalypse Now sort of always overshadows Platoon.
Yeah. See, I'm not a big
seen
fan
The
of
Thin Red
Apocalypse Now.
Line. Criterion just put out The Thin Red Line, didn't they? But I've never seen it.
I watched that again. I think because I had it installed. No, I watched it when I was at uni, and then I bought it. Then I never watched it. And I sold it. Then I bought it again. And goes right. I'm going to watch it, and I didn't like it. Because I was going to buy the Criterion, but I just bought the normal Blu-ray just to see what it was like, and I sold it. That was in one of my last pilot. Went to CX. Wasn't a fan. I thought it was too boring. But yeah, same with Hacksaw Ridge. I didn't really enjoy it the first time I watched it. So I need to kind of rewatch it as such. But I think for me, I mean, Saving Private Ryan, as good as it is, and I know it's not a film, but it's no Band of Brothers. Band of Brothers for me is the quintessential thing ever when it comes to any kind of war films. But like,
a film that surprised me recently was Fat Man. Mel Gibson.
Right.
You heard of it?
Yeah, but what's that war film? Is it?
No.
So what are you talking about?
He's Santa Claus.
Yeah, I know. He gets shot at.
Yeah, I love that film.
Bit random, Pete, because we're talking about war films, but that's fine. You can throw that into the mix. That's fine. And I watched a lot of. I watched Downfall as well the other week, the German one, about the final few days in the bunkers with Hitler, and that was excellent. That was very, very good. And before that, I rewatched Schindler's List. I watched The Boy in Striped Pajamas, and I watched The Pianist. And The Pianist is awesome. We've all seen The Pianist, haven't we, with Adrian Brody?
No, I've never watched it.
I've got it, but I watched it.
It's a Roman Polanski film. Not that means anything, but it's very, very good. It's just excellent. But yeah, I recommend you watch Downfall as well if you don't mind subtitles, because that's very good as well. Because the person whose biography it's kind of based on in diary, she because she's still alive at the time. She's dead now, but she was alive at the time of filming because she was one of Hitler's personal secretaries. She does the introduction and talks about it, and it goes into the film. And then when the film ends, she talks about it as well. And then in the credits roll. So it's nice to have because at the end of Schindler's List, to walk down with the actors and the people that were portrayed down next to Oscar Schindler's grave. So it's nice to have that kind of perspective and put the actual person say this did happen. That's I'm here. This did happen. Things like that, which is I think is great. I got Geek Out with Dave. We Were Soldiers is a great war film. Yeah, Mel Gibson. But I personally prefer films that are about the prisoners of war, like Great Escape, End of All Wars. There's one. What was that one with Christian Bale? Rescue Dawn. No, what was it?
Yeah, Rescue Dawn.
Is it Rescue Dawn? I enjoyed that one. That's What other prison? They've got Bridge River Kwai. Another one is Deer Hunter. I've never watched the Deer Hunter. I think what puts me off is that the first hour of it is the wedding, and it goes on and on and on.
I've owned it twice and sold it, but never actually watched it.
Yeah, I know. I had the big 4K box set with like soundtrack and book and everything, and it just sat on the shelf for like 6 or 7 months. I'm like, just sell it. You get like 25, 30 quid for that exchange.
Is that one the cool antler artwork?
Yeah, no, no. So is it here? Yeah, so I had the 4K. That's the artwork on the 4K.
All right.
But it does have obviously the deer on the back. But the steelbook's got the deer with like a gun next to his head. But yeah, I still haven't watched it. I should do, to be fair. That's what, yeah, that's it. But is the Pacific any good? Yes, it is. Because it's also got Rami Malek in it and his early stuff. And it's also got the guy who poor kid, because he's like in the man now, but the guy who played the kid out of Jurassic Park is in it. Those two main characters in it. But that always sticks in my mind about that. Have we all seen the Pacific?
Yeah, I've seen the Pacific.
Is when they're waiting on that hill, and he's got stones, and he's just throwing them into the skull of the dead Japanese soldier who's just there because he's been shot. I was like,
Christian Bale, were you meaning Empire of the Sun? Because that was his first film because he was a kid, wasn't he?
No, Jurassic Park, the kid out of Jurassic Park.
No, I'm talking about Christian Bale. But
yeah.
He was in Empire of the Sun. Rescue Dawn.
Yes.
That's a prisoner of war, but Empire of the Sun, his first film when he was a kid, he was a prisoner, wasn't he?
Was because I think that's when they were trying to. I've never seen Empire of the Sun. I know it's Steven Spielberg, I know Nolan's in it as a kid, but I've never seen it.
Mm.
It's another one of those like where I'm kind of like very much. I've seen a lot of films, and I feel sometimes that other people who, although we'll go back to earlier, like you said, you don't want to diss other people's channels, but I feel like from a movie channel, we've seen films, and you see people whose channels do, they do really well. Fair play at them, but those channels are done by people who've never seen anything. They'll go to CX or whatever, and they'll pick up 10 movies and they haven't seen this, haven't seen that.
I've always said if people have Casablanca on their top 10 films of all times, I think they're lying. They're trying to be too hard to be a film critic.
I've never seen Casablanca. I have got it, like Pete. I bought the HMV one, but I've never watched it. It's like Citizen Kane. Never watched Citizen Kane.
Yeah,
it doesn't interest me.
Thing is, I don't feel I need to. You know what I mean? You don't have to prove yourself as a film fan to anyone or yourself. Like if you don't like the look of it, you don't like the look of it. Even if so, I've watched films that people have told me this is a 10 out of 10 film, and I've sat and watched it and didn't like it. It's just personal taste at the end of the day.
Like I hate The Lighthouse. I hate The Witch. I hate The Green Knight, and they're getting all these rave reviews. Like The Power of the Dog. Everybody loved that, and I watched it and I went, no, it's all right.
Yeah.
Power of the Dog was like 6 out of 10 at best.
Yeah, and it's like, you go to the Oscars then, and you get all these films that are Oscar nominated. And now I see the list of the Oscar nominated films. Granted, Doom was there, which I deserve. That deserved that. But I'm reading the list. I'm like, I've seen about 50 better films this year than all these. I don't care what these are telling me or what other film fans are telling me. Like,
I think the problem is with film these days is I'm not asking for like popcorn cinema. I'm asking to be entertained, not be bored. And there's far too many films that are coming out, and what I would describe as being arty-farty.
Yeah.
Like The Green Knight.
Yeah.
I mean, visually it looks great, but you've got like a 5-minute panning shot of them going round in a circle. I don't want to see that.
It's at the end of the day, it's movies are the biggest form of escapism, and if I'd tell you what, a film that's just popped in my head that everyone seems to rave about and everyone's talking about it a bit more recently because they've just released it again is the Mulholland Drive. I think that's one of the worst films I've ever sat down and watched, but people love it. And I'm not knocking that. I'm like, if you enjoy it. For me, I just thought it was an absolute snorefest.
See, I haven't seen that one. That's a David Lynch one, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think I've only seen one David Lynch, and that's probably Elephant Man. Other ones I'm not really that interested in.
Yeah.
But you're right.
For me, it was an arty film.
I say to the wife, and she goes, "What are you on about?" I say, "It's horses for horses." Not everybody likes the same stuff, but it's weird because I can see like I don't like Birds of Prey. I don't hate it, but I just don't like it because I don't think that Harley Quinn is a strong enough character to be a lead, and that's not being sexist. I just don't think the character is strong enough to be a lead.
I think she is. I just don't think that was a good film she's in.
But that's it. I can see why people would like it.
Yeah.
You know, but with
I
like
like her. She's good. The rest of the cast were fucking shit.
Yeah, herself, Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn in that movie was good. The film around her, well, it's a bit like the first Suicide Squad movie. The first Suicide Squad movie, The Squad is good. Just that the film they're in isn't that great.
Yeah, it's just. Yeah. I mean, what was it I watched again? Like, and I'm going to get ridiculed for this and raped. I watched the first 2 Godfather movies again. Now, I've seen the first one before. I've never seen the second one because I wanted to watch them before I traded them in. And I watched and I enjoyed the first Godfather and I enjoyed the second one. But it's not because everyone says Godfather Part 2 is the best sequel ever made or one of the best films ever made. I can see that, but I just didn't quite do it for me. I enjoyed both of them. But from a Godfather or Mafia connection, I much prefer things like Goodfellas and The Casino.
I was literally about to say, if you said to me right now, fancy watching The Godfather or Goodfellas, I'm saying Goodfellas every single time.
Oh, yeah.
I watched The Godfathers for the very first time about 4 years ago, maybe a bit longer. And I was the same. It was like, yeah, I understand why people like them. I think they're just not for me. I think if I'd watched them back then, they probably would have blew my mind. But for me, I feel I've seen better movies in that genre now.
Yeah.
If you said to me, do you want to watch The Godfathers or do you want to watch The Secret of My Success with Michael J. Fox? It'd be that. You know?
Yeah, but I'm happy that I can say I've seen 1 and 2. I didn't go for 3. I left 3. I started watching 3, but it just didn't. I just need to sell these. Not because I didn't like them, but just I wanted to get money in to get other stuff. But yeah, my thing is now, because ages and ages and ages ago, not 2 years ago, but 3 months ago, I sold a lot on my 4Ks because I wanted to get some money, cash-wise, give it to the missus, and then put it towards stuff for the kids, which is fine. Yeah. But now, because I went to my shelf, just one shelf here, and I went here, like, get rid of that, never going to watch it, I got rid. And now I'm like, I really fancy watching Black Hawk Down. I haven't got it anymore. I want to watch Casino again. Don't have it. I want to watch. I had the Titans of Cult. Goodfellas. Got rid of that. I'm like, oh, fuck's sake. So I'm looking now for all the voucher stuff for CX, which I've got. I'm like buying the stuff back that I had as opposed to new stuff because I want to get Black Hawk Down. That for me is essential. Yeah. But I'm thinking about maybe just getting the Blu-ray of Casino because I've still got the good.
We've done a 4K Casino, haven't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've got it on Blu-ray. But yeah, don't think I've got Goodfellas on 4K. I didn't get Casino though.
Yeah, I don't think it's that big. I think it's just the fact of having it. But I've got the Blu-ray of Goodfellas, and I don't mind it because the Blu-ray I've got of it is like the reissue. See, I've got them out of the loft because I want to watch it again. It's like a reissue one, so it comes with the book and 2 discs.
That's quite nice, that, yeah.
So because I think the book that comes with this is the same one that came with with the 4K set.
I would have presumed so, yeah.
So I just need to get Casino. I think Casino's like £6 a CX, so I might just pick it up again. But yeah, I'm sick of that now. Selling stuff and going, oh fuck. It's like I wanted to watch Dick Tracy again the other day, and I knew I had the Steelbook. I pre-ordered the Steel. I got the day it came out, and I must have sold it because I can't find it here or in the loft. And it's like 18 to 20 quid to buy it back. I'm like, oh.
I'm not too bad with trading stuff movie-wise. It's games. I always do that with. Like, I'll get a game completed, trade in, then a few months later, like, oh, I fancy me playing it, and like, I need to go and get it. Movies, I haven't got the hugest movie collection in the world, but I like to think that I've got every film that I can happily say that I've really I'm a fan of the film. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. So yeah, well, that's what I've started thinking as well now. Now moving forward, trying to kind of like save money in that is just like if I like something, does it necessarily have to be on 4K? That's the same with Scream coming out. I've got all the others. Why do I need to have it on 4K? There's no need at all for me to have it on 4K. I'll just have it on Blu-ray.
Yeah, I mean, I bought Ghostbusters Afterlife on 4K, and I watched it, was taking pictures of it, putting it on my social media, going, wow, look at how good this 4K looks. Took the disc out, and I had the Blu-ray in. The whole album. So I watched it on Blu-ray. But that just goes to show you, I thought it looked incredible on Blu-ray. I haven't watched it in 4K yet.
Is that not also a mindset that you're in, that as soon as you put a disc in, you're going to go, this is going to look good, and I'm going to make sure that it looks good, and I'm going to believe it?
I think a lot of 4Ks, I think of people who buy 4Ks, a lot of the time they're got some sort of goggles on where they think they're seeing something better than it is. Sometimes no. Like I watched Spider-Man No Way Home the other night on 4K. That looked phenomenal. That was really like I was watching it going, yeah, that's 4K. But I remember the Thing come out on 4K. People go, oh, it's night and day different from the Blu-ray. I'm like, is it? Is it really? Halloween as well. People say night and day different Halloween from the Blu-ray. I'm like, is it?
I remember buying The Thing. I think it was just a normal Blu-ray before Arrow released it. And I put it on because I hadn't seen it in ages. And I was like, whoa, this looks really good. Now, obviously, I've got 4K of it as well. And I put it in now. I can see a slight difference. Not a giant leap, but a slight difference. Whereas I can see a hell of a lot of difference on like Full Metal Jacket to the Blu-ray. It's not
going to make you then go, oh, that's made the Blu-ray obsolete now.
No, exactly.
Whereas Blu-rays from DVD, like I can't watch DVD. As snobby as that might sound, I can't watch DVDs anymore. The 480p, whatever it is, looks horrible because we've just been spoiled with 1080p Blu-ray 4K. But Blu-ray to 4K ain't that giant of a leap. RoboCop's just come out in 4K. Loads of videos saying there's hardly any difference in it between the Arrow Blu-ray and the Arrow 4K, and people have gone out and double dipped for it.
Yeah.
So, they didn't even change the fucking cover, did they?
They didn't. It's the exact same package, isn't it?
Yeah.
I want to know, because I haven't seen, because I know RoboCop, a lot of people say it's not a very good picture, or there's not much difference. I want to know what the American Werewolf in London one looks like. So I don't know what the review for that one is.
I mean, like a lot of people, it's weird because a lot of people who I hear saying that older films look better in 4K because they put more effort into them. But for me, it's the newer films that look better in 4K because they're filmed in 4K. So what you're getting on disc is essentially, what has been shown in the cinema. Whereas the older films, like Ghostbusters, the original Ghostbusters I bought in 4K, it's not a good transfer at all.
No.
The second
there are
one,
films, older films that come out that are better ones, and they look better. I mean, what have I got? I mean, like The Shining, for example, looks awesome in 4K. Jaws.
Jaws is probably a very good example of you can tell they went into that film and really, really spruced it up for 4K Jaws. Yeah. So there are examples of good ones.
I was going to say that I started watching after I bought the Batman series yesterday. Last night I put first disc in. Now it is still like the TV; it's not big pushed up the widescreen, so you still got your kind of Zack Snyder's Justice League borders. Yeah, but I couldn't believe how crisp the picture is on it because Batman. Now, obviously, I've only really watched it when I had the DVD set or when it was on telly before HD came out. But seeing Batman and Adam West's cowl, it's such. I couldn't believe how clear it was. It was like.
That's it. That's going from SD to HD, isn't it? So that's very noticeable.
So I don't know if anybody who's watching this, if anybody's watched that, if they noticed it's still the same thing. But yeah, it all depends what you're watching. Like when I first got 3D telly, which was the first HD telly I got, and I put Quantum of Solace on, and there's that car chase at the beginning.
Right.
And I was just like, oh, this looks a bit swanky. This is nice and clear. But yeah, what were you going to say? Sorry, Paul, I jumped in.
I was going to say, for me, like newer films like Spider-Man, because that's the last 4K I watched, yeah, it looks amazing. But what I always notice more with 4K is the sound. Like the sound, if you've got I'm fortunate enough to have, like I said, a good surround sound in my living room. And it sounds, like the sound for 4K discs just sounds incredible. Like it literally sounds like you're at the cinema. So for me, I always like the picture's good, but the sound's something I always notice more.
Yeah. Right, you must be good through your sound system then, Peter.
Oh, yeah, I do like it. The one thing I will say, I don't like streaming. I have the streaming services, but when Disney poked up the older IMAX versions of the Marvel films, they look better.
Yeah,
My TV's
I
top
agree.
notch. My amp is top notch, and
I
oh my God, it spanked it. It's a higher bit rate again. It spanked it. I was genuinely shocked.
I watched Shang-Chi in IMAX enhanced, and it looked fantastic. And then I got the 4K for it like a few days later for my birthday.
Mm.
And the fact that IMAX enhanced isn't on the disc, I think that IMAX enhanced, what Disney Plus are doing at the moment, is a game changer. I think a lot of studios should be implementing that and releasing it on their 4K as well. Doom would have been a good release for that IMAX enhanced, so it fills your full screen, not the widescreen bars.
I do much prefer a full screen picture. Whenever I put something in, I thought I haven't watched it in ages. I'm just like, oh yes, it's full screen. Get in.
The Suicide Squad, the James Gunn one, that was pretty much full screen. It had like little tiny black bars.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm the same. Every time I put a film in for the first time, I'm like, oh yes, it's full screen.
The same with 3Ds. I say this every time on the stream. Why do they have to make it widescreen with bars on the top and bottom when it's widescreen for your telly? Make it full screen. Avatar is. But then things like Gravity, which is great 3D. That's probably one of the best ones to spot at the cinema.
Top 5 at least.
But then watch it on your telly and you've got the borders at the top and bottom. It doesn't have the same impact.
Yeah, it's like when you're watching the Dark Knight trilogy on 4K and it jumps from the aspect ratios keeps jumping. Yeah. And like when it jumps, you're like, oh wow, that looks amazing. Then it jumps back. I'm like, why? Just keep it the same. It's weird.
Exactly. I'll go through a few comments because I'm a bit behind. So Jamie's or Batman's put Hacksaw Ridge just maybe the best war film I've ever seen in my entire life. It's a masterpiece. Andrew Garfield gives the best performance in his entire career. Is the Pacific any good? Yeah, we've done that one. Downfall is a crap film. Yeah, exactly. Have you seen Tick Tick Boom? I have not. Doesn't interest me.
Same. Yeah, no interest in it.
The same as West Side Story does not interest me whatsoever.
Yeah, same.
It's like it's a few boxes like romantic tick, musical tick. Doesn't interest me because of the title. It's about a musical tick, and those get crumpled up and thrown away. Not interested in any of them. Oh, sorry. I've also got to tick Artie 40, and then that can go in the bin as well. Have you seen Tick Tick Boom, Pete?
No interest in it.
I fell asleep when you said Tick Tick Boom then, so yeah.
Yeah. The Godfather's here. Big pot of pea. Although this was like
Wind Talkers is good.
Yes, is that Nick Cage? It is, isn't it?
Yeah,
when he's got the Indians. Yeah.
Correct, yeah.
How you feeling better, Paulie?
He's doing a live stream as well today. Came out of nowhere. It was like an RKO out of nowhere. I'm like, didn't even know you were doing that. I just popped up on my phone. I was like, oh, I'll say hello. And I had to go and make the tea, so I couldn't do any more. Luke's here as well. See, this is the problem. I'm looking down because I'm on the laptop, but the video's on here because it makes it much easier. What we got here? I'm here watching What's Up. Went to see Sonic Hedgehog 2 yesterday, and it was really brilliant sequel. That was fantastic opinion yet. Have you seen it yet? If so, what do you think? Personally, I haven't seen it. I have no interest in going to see it. Same with the first one. I have seen the first one, but that was purely on the fact because Rob Busters said, do you want the Sonic? And I was like, all right, the kids might want to watch it. The kids loved it. They had it on all the time. I don't own it, but I've got no interest in Sonic 2. What are you?
Yeah, same. I thought the first one was crap. I don't like. I'm a fan of Sonic the Hedgehog. I grew up. I was the right age when them games were hitting. I had a Sega Mega Drive and all that. I think it's weird that they did that thing again where they put the characters in the real world. I can't stand it when films do that. Sonic the Hedgehog should have been a CGI animated movie, in my opinion. I wasn't a fan of it. I've got no interest in the sequel. People are online at the moment saying it's the best video game movie ever made. I'm like, I've not seen it, so I can't comment, but I bet it's not.
We all know it's Mortal Kombat 2 Annihilation.
Oh, Christ. On the poster for Sonic 2, it says your kids are going to love it. Not everyone's gonna love it. The first one for me felt like a kids' film. It wasn't really connecting with me on like the Pixar level where there's stuff in it for adults as well.
Yeah.
It felt like I was watching a child's film, and I can imagine the second one's gonna be the same. But I'm glad you've had fun with it, man. I really am. It's just I've just.
Oh, yeah,
I'll check
people
it out
enjoy
when
it.
it comes on Sky or something, I suppose.
Yeah, same. Or when it gets from Roadbusters. And Pete, have you seen the first one, Pete?
What?
Sonic.
I do own it, but I haven't watched it.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
I'm a bit. I've seen some clips with Jim Carrey. He looks like the best part of all of it, but I don't think I'd go to the cinema to see Sonic at any point.
I even think Jim Carrey was proper phoning it in. People were saying it's the best performance he's been in since the 90s. I felt he felt weird in it. I felt like he was proper phoning it in for me.
There was a bit in it in the very, very beginning when he's there and all these crew arrives and he goes, "Who's in charge here?" Zip, I am. And I was just like, it's very Mike Myers, Austin Powers, zip it. And I thought that was a bit, because he's just like, "Who's in charge?" Nope. And I'm just, Philip is just going to go, zip it, got plenty more, zip it. That kind of. I just thought, for me, it was like a 6 out of 10 movie. That was what I would give it.
Yeah, I'd probably say. I mean, I've heard a lot of people saying this one is a lot more, feels like the games, like they use a lot of the lore from the games, whereas the first one doesn't really do that. So, that could make it a bit better, but I'll wait for streaming. I'm not going to go to cinema to watch it.
Yeah, I'm probably going to get shouted from a high height now because we've both, three of us have already asked about it.
We'll end up buying it, though.
Yeah, I won't buy it.
If a new game comes out, I'll play that.
Yeah. Big point. He's really looking forward to the third Hank Spielberg Masters of the Air. That seems to be in like limbo for ages.
Mm-hmm. Wasn't that supposed to be Apple TV or some shit? Wasn't it supposed to go on a streaming service?
God knows, but it was like, I'm sure it was like 5 years ago or just after Pacific. We're like, oh, when's it going to next one? And it just never really happened. It's got Austin Butler who's going to be playing Elvis in the new movie. Okay. Funny enough, because you mentioned Apple TV, have you guys watched Ted Lasso yet?
No.
Okay.
I'm still waiting to watch Peacemaker. Rob gets his finger out his arse and actually sends it to me like you keep saying he will.
Peacemaker's awesome. I know it was an embarrassing intro, but I changed the music because obviously last week it was just my normal music. Was it last? I can't remember. But this week I thought I'm just going to put the Peacemaker song on it because I listen to it constantly all in the car.
Man, that song was living rent-free in my head after watching Peacemaker.
But as soon as I put it on and I saw your face, Paul, you were like, oh yeah, straight away.
Best intro ever.
Oh, it's so good. There's so many videos on YouTube as well, people recreating it that are awesome. And James Gunn keeps retweeting as well on his Twitter.
I thoroughly enjoyed the show. I thought it was excellent.
Yeah, same.
Especially the ending bit.
I loved his mate in it. What was his friend called in it?
No, it wasn't Avenger. It was
what was his name? I can't remember his character name, but there was a scene in it when he takes his helmet off his mask and he goes, "If I keep changing my facial expressions, no one will notice me." And it's just,
I don't want to spoil too much for you, Pete, but he's just like, "I'm going to torture your friend." Okay, do it. And he shut him. He goes, I have to do it. He said, "Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm cool with that."
I want to see the eagle.
I think it was quality as well. Eagly, what do you call your dog? Dogly?
Yeah.
Catly. It's fucking awesome. And his eagle gives him a hug and nobody sees it, and everyone just thinks
no one believes him.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome. What's Paulie put here? I watched the first two Godfathers, couldn't be bothered third. To be honest, they're both so overrated. Yeah, I wouldn't have got to say they're overrated, but I just weren't for me. I think they were both very, very good films, but I just don't think they're my cup of tea. Especially when I'm more down the Casinos, Goodfellas. I'd even put The Gentleman in with a similar kind of thing.
I'd even analyse that.
Yeah.
The Godfather.
True. Jules has got, can I watch New Phantom, but haven't seen any. Can I watch a New Phantom Beast? I haven't seen any of those. Well, I haven't seen any of them. To be fair, Jules, I only watched the Harry Potter series about 2 months ago, and then I sold those because I thought those were overrated, and I haven't seen any of them. But I probably think you'll need to watch the others before you watch the third one because it's a continuation.
Watch the other two first.
Yeah. There you go. Last Chance Shez is here. All right, fella. Looks back. I ordered the new Scream 2022 4K Steelbook. I was out today, and it comes out tomorrow, so I probably won't get it tomorrow. But I hope I do.
A lot of people have got it early.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, they did the same with Spider-Man, didn't they? So
Yeah, same. I got Spider-Man a week early.
Have you ordered the Scream one then, Pete, or no?
Nope.
No.
Once I heard Dewey dies, that's it. I can't watch it.
Spoilers.
Yeah, in case anybody hasn't watched it.
I think that might be a film that we talked about before, that when I'll give it another go, it might drop a little bit, or because I was really hyped when I first watched it, just because it was a new Scream. I feel like that is a film that when I watch it again, I'm like, yeah, it's all right.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I mean, when it happened, even the missus does not watch films, but I said, "Oh, I've got this." Do you know what? She's like, "Yes." We sat down, we watched it one night. When that certain incident happens, which I'm not going to repeat again, she was like, oh, "The legend." She said the end of a legend or something like that, or something. And I was like, "Yeah." But I couldn't get over Courtney Cox's face in it. What the hell she's done to her face?
You know what's weird though? Friends is constantly on in our house because it's just always on Comedy Central. So it's just something. It's like background noise, isn't it? You just stick Friends on, and she looks gorgeous in Friends. And then when you watch her in the Scream films, you're like, wow, she's had some work done.
But yeah, it was like Helen Hunt in ICU, and I was like, whoa, what's done with Helen Hunt's face? But then Courtney Cox's face in Scream, even the wife was like, what? She's had a lot of shit done there. I'm just like, yeah,
unnecessary as well.
Exactly, stupid. Let's go. Yeah, Zack Snyder Cut of Justice League, the 4:3 ratio bugged me on that. Even watching on a projector. Yeah, I got used to that.
I just picked a screen, mate.
Then you just cut half the picture off.
No. My telly does the thing called fit to screen. Now it does because of that aspect ratio. It does stretch it slightly, but once you're sort of watching it for a while, your eyes adjust to it.
Okay.
I loved it.
Yeah. Oh
yeah. I don't want every movie like it, but I mean that just worked.
Yeah, it's so good. I mean, I didn't realize going back to Godfather because I know that's on for like 4 hours. I didn't realize they're long films as well. Because the funny thing is about the box set, it doesn't tell you on the actual back of it how long each film's on for, and I didn't know that. And when I was like, all right, how long is left in this? I had to put like on the players display how long is left. I was like, fucking hell, I've got like 2 hours left. What the fuck's going to happen here?
They feel long as well, though. That's when you know you're not really gelling with them.
I've got to go open my front door. The missus is back.
All right, I'll take you off for the time being, and Pete, I'll see when you come back. Okay.
They feel long when a film's feeling long. You know, when you're clock watching.
I always find like I'm sitting because I sit up here because this is the spare room, my movie room or whatever. Yeah. And the missus will be like, I'm like, I want to go watch the football, so I'll watch it up here. And then I'll go downstairs and I'll go. We watched. See, we don't watch TV shows together because I think the last TV show together we watched was Trigger Point, right. And I said to her, she goes, "You didn't like it, did you?" I'm just like, it was all right. She goes, "You're a snob." Which means I'm a snob. It's because it's an ITV drama, not a BBC. I'm just like, no, it's not. I said I liked
Killing Geese.
I was trying to think which one it was. I mean, Broadchurch. I like Broadchurch. She's like, Paul, that was like 4 years ago. I'm like, oh, yeah. But see, like, because I loved Line of Duty, even though every time I have a conversation about it with the wife in here, I call it Call of Duty. She goes, "You mean Line of Duty?"
That'll be a different series.
Yeah. She goes, "She called us a snob." But we watched that, and we watched that Love Is Blind, and then I wanted to watch that Jimmy Savile one, but she didn't want to watch that, so I had to watch it up here with some tissues. No, I'm joking. So I watched that, and then, but yeah, so like I come up here, and then I put a film on, but I can tell when I'm not, because the phone starts coming up, and I start scrolling, and I'm just like, at that point, I'm like, right, I'm not paying attention to this.
Yeah.
So that's why I know that I need to change it up a bit. So So whatever I was watching, I stopped and there's a series on Netflix called I Am Killer, which has an interview with the person behind bars, and it tells you about their background leading up to the murder and how they got arrested. And he's like, "You watch some weird stuff." I'm just like, "Just making notes, love. You better fucking behave." But yeah, it's that's you're right. It has to get your attention. So when I'm watching
that's another
something.
one. If you can feel yourself going for your phone, if your phone's distracting you, then that's subconsciously telling you you're bored.
Exactly. Because I think I was tired last night because I started watching Batman, and I think once the novelty of the good picture wore off, I was like, I'm not in the mood to watch it. Let's put something else on. And like, because I was in the mood watching I Am Killer, and then before that the Jimmy Savile one, and I watched this thing on I taped it off Sky, put like a series link on. It's called Murdered on CCTV or Caught on CCTV. And it's basically about people getting murdered and the cops go on. It's kind of like actors and all that, but interviews with the real police officers and how they tracked down the killer using CCTV. So like it went into like a 24/7 garage and they went that way and then all that kind of stuff. I love that stuff. But the wife thinks I'm weird for doing that. But yeah, you're right though. It's all about getting your concentration levels. If you haven't got it, it's different when you're in the cinema because you can't really do that. You're there, you paid to see it.
My missus is constantly on her phone, regardless of what she's watching. I always say to her when you go to the cinema, like, it must kill you that you can't go on your phone.
So when I went to see A Quiet Place Part 2, there's a guy in front of me. So I'm sitting, the screen's a bit over there, and there's a guy in front of me here, and he had his phone, and I thought, the film's starting, but he still, although he had it dimmed, he was still on it, and he was on it throughout the film. So I've had to kind of move myself so that his head is blocking it. Otherwise, because I was on my own, I don't want to go over there and go, "Excuse me, sir, would you mind turning your screen off?" Because it's really bothering me.
I'm an angry cinema goer when it comes to things like that. I've got like verbal with people over it. But saying that, I remember I went to watch Fast 9 and there was a guy right in front of me on his phone, and I was watching him on his phone, and I was going to say something. For you know what, I don't blame you.
I don't like that franchise at all. I've only seen the first one, and I don't think I've got any kind of interest at all in watching the others. Right, we've got here. Do you guys think Nicolas Cage movie where he played, we just mentioned that before, would have been better as a straight to streaming movie instead of cinema? Yeah, I think so. It's
getting really, really good reviews. It's supposed to be a really good film. But yeah, it's that. This is not going back as well. That's the sort of film I'd like to watch at home. I don't like the idea of having to go to the cinema to watch these sort of indie films, which film fans are now going, well, you need to be supporting indie films and whatnot at the cinema. But it doesn't, the cinema experience isn't for them sort of films. For me, I like to go and watch big blockbuster movies in the cinema, or even horror films. I know a lot of people don't like watching horror in the cinema because you always get really disruptive crowds, I always feel, because you always have like teenagers pissing around and that. But that sort of film, I'd rather it hit, I don't know, Amazon Prime. I can just chill on a Sunday afternoon and watch it.
There's still that Val Kilmer biography that's it was out in Prime in America. I don't know if that's hit over here.
Yeah, I think that is on Prime. Yeah,
is it on now? Is it? Because I've been keep looking out for it and I haven't been able to see it.
Don't quote me on that. You have to double check, but I feel like I've seen it pop up somewhere.
What was I going to say? I can't remember now. What we've got here? What's this? Master of the Air has been filming for the last 2 years. So due later this year, but being pushed back to 2023. There you go. He's got his ear to the ground. Celebrity of Hacksaw Ridge. I have it on Blu-ray, and I watched Godfather the first time over a few days ago. Absolutely loved it. So definitely need to get the trilogy in 4K. Fair enough. I don't think for me, like upgrading movies to 4K. The Godfather, although a look on it will probably look good, it's not a film to me that needs a 4K restoration.
Correct. Yeah, I agree.
So like you've got something like I don't know, but then again you can pick and choose because I don't know.
I think it just comes down to personal preference. I really do. I think, but I agree with you. It's when I watch it, I'm not watching it going, oh man, imagine this in 4K. It's just a drama movie.
Casino and Goodfellas, they're fine as they are. I mean,
I only upgraded Goodfellas just because the 4K set was really nice and I had money at the time.
Exactly.
Otherwise, I would have been happy with my Blu-ray.
I'm going to have to take this out of here, put this into here, because his battery's dying. Let me turn the volume up. Right, you hear me all right still?
I can hear you fine, yeah.
Okay, cool. I'll take these earphones.
But yeah, man, like the Goodfellas, man, like Goodfellas. Sorry, Godfather. It's if you enjoy it, man, upgrade it. Like if it's. I wish I upgraded the Mad Max bloody 4K when that Steelbook set landed, but that was very pricey. So I sort of.
I'm not a big fan of the first Mad Max film. I love the second
Wow,
one.
yeah, I really enjoyed it. I do like the first one. I've got a lot of nostalgia with the first one because I had the first one on Betamax.
Okay.
So that was like one of the first sort of films I ever sort of owned or just had that I could watch. You know what I mean? When I was very, very young. So I've got a lot of fond memories of it. But the second one is better. But that set, I wish I bought, but it's now shot up like double in price.
Yeah, well done, man. The one thing that hasn't come up and shot in price is the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit steelbooks. I got them for two reasons. One, they looked excellent. And two, I thought they'll hold the value. They'll go up. I'll sell them. I'll just get the normal box set. No. You can buy them anywhere now. So it's not going to make any difference.
That's a good investment. I was going to buy just the standard 4K Lord of the Rings, but the packaging for that is naff. Like, naff. It's just a box with the discs in. Like there's nothing to it. For them sort of films, for the price they're asking for it, like £80, whatever it was, I was like, nah, you have to give me a bit more than that.
Yeah, that is the most I've paid, and you looked at them as an investment, but they go for the same price that you pay for them online now.
Eventually they'll go eventually as soon as once they sort of like sell out.
Well, yeah, I'd like to think so. But yeah, what else we got? Wagwan.
That's my boy Tarek. How's it going, man?
All right, okay. All right, so what's this Wagwan then?
That is London slang.
Okay.
That white people shouldn't be saying.
All right, okay. Cheers for that then. Brilliant. No need my arse being on the screen, but I've also been probably racist and homophobic in the same thing. So what does it actually mean then?
I've no idea, but we say it all the time, so it's fine.
Okay. Guys in the trailer from the A24 called Marcel the Shell was Shoe. Funny enough, right? Going back to A24, because we just touched on it there, and Pete still disappeared.
I think I know what you're going to say.
I know it's not by A24, but it's from the director of The Lighthouse and The Witch, which is the Northman. It looks good, but I thought the trailer for The Green Knight looked good, and then I watched The Green Knight and I didn't like it. Now I'm worried that The Northman is going to go down the exact same path that did, and going to be arty-farty and shit.
I agree. I'm going to watch that. The trailer has sold me, so I am going to pay the money for it, but I am optimistic that it is, because I'm going to go into it thinking it's going to be like Gladiator or Game of Thrones, that sort of, do you know what I mean? That sort of like blockbustery movie in Vikings. But I've got a sneaking suspicion it's probably going to have brutal parts in it. I'm going to be like, oh, this. But I feel it's going to be a very slow burn movie. It might not be. I don't know. I haven't seen it yet, but I feel the same as you. I feel like
trailer, and I'm like, I don't know what. I don't know. It's like a dream sequence or something in there, and I'm like, or there's a bit where like Anya Taylor, she's like this on the boat. I'm like, that's going to be like quiet, and then I'm like, so I'm tempted to go see it, but at the same time I don't. But that other, I mean, what's this one called? Marcel the Shell with the Shoes on. I've never heard of.
No, I've not seen the trailer for this yet. Did you check out that X?
I haven't seen it.
No, I've still not watched it yet.
I know what you're talking about with regards to the porn in a home and in a barn, and I know the premise of it, but I haven't seen it. No,
I've still not seen it yet. I was just thinking that was a very divisive film as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's like I don't have a big personal fan base for A24 because I loved Midsummer. I think that's a better movie than Hereditary, but I liked both of them. But other A24 films that come out, I've thought have been rubbish. And
I couldn't tell you one. Apart from, I don't even know what A24 is still. I know films that they've done because I've seen them, but I've not watched them because they're A24 films. I've just watched them because they look like good films, and then it's weird. It's sort of just come out and now everyone's like, oh, the new A24 film. Like, what the hell's A24? I know what it is now. It's like a film studio, I suppose, but It seems to be like that's the thing. Oh, have you seen the new A24 movie? It's
it's a bit like Arrow Video. The flat.
yeah.
Everyone's like, I'm gonna go see this new A24. But
That's like saying I'm going to go and watch the new Warner Bros. Movie.
yeah, but I think because Rob, I didn't like I said, I didn't like The Witch, and I didn't like The Lighthouse.
Is that
I watched Lighthouse, and I was just like, oh my god, this is shit.
The Witch? Was that the one with the goat talks?
Yeah, and it was
At the end. Yeah, that was a dead weird film. Yeah, I agree with you, and they are sort of like they're not my sort of films. Hereditary, I enjoy because it felt like a breath of fresh air. But I've still not seen Midsummer. That's been on my watch list for the longest time. But outside of them two and X, I'm not. I couldn't probably name you another one off the top of my head.
Green Knight's one of them.
Oh yeah. But I've got no interest in watching that.
I think with The Witch, I couldn't get into the Old English language they were using. I thought it's almost like when you're watching a Shakespeare film, you're like, this looks brilliant, but I've got no fucking idea what they're saying. That's kind of a bit like Tenet, where it came out, when I went with my mate, I was just like, what do you think of that? He went, brilliant. I goes, what happened? He goes, I've got no idea. That's basically what I think about when I was watching that, because I remember The Witch, it was at my mate's house, I took my hard drive and I said, right, choose a film. He goes, have you seen The Witch? I'm like, no, we'll put that on. And we both watched it and went, I was rubbish, and he went, yep. I was like, yep. The same with the Babadook. That's like A24. I can't get into the Babadook.
It's weird how people's film tastes are so different. I do find like one man's trash is another man's treasure in it. It's like it's so weird. And there's loads of films I watch thinking I'm gonna love this. I watch them like I didn't like that.
Yeah, you're right. Everyone's open to different opinions, but unless it's the same as mine, then they're wrong.
But I always say everyone's opinion's wrong by your own, because you can't. Your opinion's right because it's your opinion. It's what you believe is. I'm not saying that in a horrible way, but and you know what? That's going back to like another sort of step back from YouTube, because I appreciate other people's opinions. I really do, and I love listening to other people's takes on a film. But there's only so much wrongness you can listen to sometimes for a film. And I've probably lost myself about 50 subscribers because of saying that. But I've spoken to other people before, and it's something that people won't say, but I believe that's what they're thinking. They're like, you know what I mean? When you really don't like a film and there's someone out there going, oh, it's the best film ever, you're like, really? Is it? Really?
Or when you really like a film and that person reviewed it and they pulled it apart, and you're like, it's just a film. You're supposed to enjoy it, not look into it, for God's sake.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's just like I was watching people like, oh, you know what? Move on.
yeah. We're going to kind of work, aren't we? Who Dies Again, Pete? I have seen it, and Courtney Cox has had a lot of work done. Yeah, that's right, Jules. I'm watching The Rookie, I think it was it. That's a good TV show. I think I've heard of it, but I've never watched it. So a lot of things that Luke watches when he comes on, I've never heard of that. Never seen it.
I struggle to watch TV shows. I just don't ever seem to find the time. That's why I always sort of try and stick to movies more.
Same with The Walking Dead. With my last CX voucher, I bought season 10 of The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Now, I know it's technically on streaming with Disney, but I had the first 5 I've had the first 9 till 10.
Yeah.
To get the 10th, but I've only seen it nearly towards the end of season 4.
Okay.
Because I think what happened was I'd started working from home when the first series came out, and I think it was aired on a Sunday, and I downloaded it on a Monday, and then I watched it when I was on my lunch hour at work.
Mm-hmm.
And then I watched it every week continuously, and I did that for the first 3 seasons, and then we had a ban, and then we moved house, and I just lost. But you're right, with TV shows, you're like,
out of all the shows you could have mentioned, that's probably the one that I have watched like every week, like since the day it aired. That's probably the one show that I've not missed an episode of. Out of all the shows you could have mentioned. But I love The Walking Dead.
The problem I got so far with it, getting up to it, is it's the shows that I've watched. There's a lot filler in it.
Yeah.
And some series are better than others, but I like the concept of it.
That's it. I think The Walking Dead as well works better as a binge series. When you're watching some of that from week to week, it can get really, really frustrating. because they do fill it. They pad the season out because they want to have like 16 episodes. Whereas a lot of shows can make a brilliant series in like 6 or 8 episodes. 10, even 12. Walking Dead, for some reason, they started on like 12 episodes and they kept on making it bigger just to get more money, and they pad it out, and you can tell they're doing it.
I don't know how I got into the stage of the first TV show I would properly watch was 24, and obviously there are 24 episodes in it, and like how have I managed to binge 24 episodes of 24 and I can't even manage 12?
It's mad, isn't it? Yeah, I couldn't do that now. Just don't ever seem to find. I don't ever seem to have the time.
The older I get, the shorter the TV shows need to be.
Correct, and I love it when a new like Peacemaker come out. What was it, like 8 episodes or something? I was like, oh yes, just and even these Disney ones, these Marvel ones, 6 episodes. That's enough. That's what. That's basically like a film time, isn't it? A bit longer than a film if you put it all together. Do you know what I mean? It's like what, 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah, exactly.
It
just takes the piss. It's like I've still got the Hannibal box set here to watch. Haven't watched that. I've got the Haunting of Hill House. Haven't watched that. I've got Doom Patrol season 1. Haven't watched that. Swamp Thing, Watchmen. They're all. I've got them physically. I just have not watched them yet because I'll go. Oh, I'll put a film on instead. I mean,
that's it. Yeah. You know what you get from a film, don't you?
I mean, they're only 20-minute episodes, if that. Jesus. Anyway, let's quickly move on. I want to get going on. Picked up Interstellar on Blu-ray CX yesterday. They actually put the 4K disc in as well as the regular release. Oh, well, there you go. Oh, Pete was back. Is he back? I don't want to see his ass. Yeah, Interstellar is a film I'm yet to see since the cinema. So I've got all in 4K, but I haven't watched it again since the cinema. I think it's another one where I came out of it and thought that's really good, but I've got no idea what's just happened.
Oh yeah, it's one of them you need to watch it a couple of times, I reckon. But I love Interstellar. I love the soundtrack, the score to Interstellar. I always listen to that. I've got like a movie score playlist on Spotify, and a few tracks of it from Interstellar on that. I love.
When I started doing my couch to 5K, which I gave up because I was a fair weather runner, and it got wet and rainy, and I didn't want to run in puddles, so I gave it up, and I'm gonna have to start it again soon. But when I put the Gladiator soundtrack on, and I'm just running along, and it goes and it builds up, and I was just like, right, let's go. And I was like.
Speaking of Gladiator, I know that's your favourite film. That I remember you talking about that on a stream, and that opted me to buy it on 4K because I'd not watched that film since easily over a decade since I last watched that until I bought the 4K, and I was like, "How is this film 20 years old? This looked like it was filmed yesterday." That film looks phenomenal.
It's still such. I always remember, right? It came out and I watched it. I loved it, and I haven't always been the best at playing football. And I remember playing outdoor on a Sunday with my mates when I came back from uni and all that. And I'm pretty shit. And I had this shot and it just pinged somewhere. And I just stood there and I just went, "Are you not entertained?" So every time that I think of the Gladiator, I always think of that.
That always reminds me of the Jay-Z album, the Black Album. That's what the very first track starts with. That sort of that. Are you not entertained? Then it goes into the first song. It always reminds me of that. To the question though, if your OCD can handle it, then keep the 4K.
Definitely keep the 4K. Now I don't know what's going on with my phone because it's saying, hang on, I've got to that my battery. It's charging, so I don't know why it's saying it's going to die, but I don't know what's going on there. So I'm going to go. We've got 1 hour 49 here. I'm going to go to 2 hours because Pete's not back. If my phone dies in the meantime, then don't go away because I'll flip to the laptop. But we'll go up to 2 hours, so we'll have another 10 minutes if that's all right with you.
Yeah, that's fine.
Cool. I don't know why my phone all of a sudden now. I did this and it used to be fine. I've got it on charge. I don't know what's going on. Right, where else to go? Boom, boom, boom. Haley's here. Evening, guys. I finally got around to watching Fargo TV series last week. Have you seen it? Just finished season 1 and loved it, and did season 2 is even better. I've seen the first series. I think I purely only watched the first series because I've seen the film and I wanted Martin Freeman was in it. But yeah, I haven't watched the second series. I think even me and Mrs. watched the first season. And that was Yeah, it was enjoyable. But I think, again, kids got in the way and things. Life intervenes.
Lost track of it.
Yeah, but you haven't seen it, so that's fine. What's this put here? The Val Kilmer doc has been on Sky documentaries a few times. Ah, okay. I'll have a look at that. What's your favourite Stephen King movie adaptation? Haley's is The Shining and the Green Mile and Shawshank Fallen. Love it. Remakes too. I need to watch Misery. I said it's amazing. Misery is very good.
Yeah, The Green Mile is probably one of my favourite films of all time, so I'm going to go with that.
The Running Man is a Stephen King film.
It is, yeah, that's a good film as well, to be fair. Well, I did enjoy. I really enjoyed the It remake. So I'm not a big book reader, but one book I have read multiple times is Stephen King's It, and I really enjoyed the remakes of it. They took a lot of liberties, which they have to do with films, to adapt it and to keep it sort of contemporary as well. But I enjoyed them.
Yeah, I think for me that my favourite Stephen King adaptation is got to be The Shining. I just love The Shining. I think, to me, it's just fantastic. Especially, I know Stanley Kubrick had a different vision to him, and Stephen King didn't really like it. And when the TV series came out, he said that was more towards his novel. But I love The Shining.
I've never read the book, so to me, the film is The Shining. I agree. Yeah, I do love The Shining. What was your thoughts on Doctor Sleep? I really enjoyed that as well, to be fair.
Yeah, I enjoyed Doctor Sleep. I especially liked it. I don't want to ruin this for anybody, but I especially liked it when it went towards the end and it kind of integrated Shining into the Overlook Hotel. I like that, but especially when he was mimicking on the stairs and all that. The only thing I didn't like is how they didn't kind of superimpose Jack Nicholson's face onto the guy.
Yeah, it's Elliot from E.T., wasn't it?
I was just like, why don't you just, if they can do it like de-age Mark Hamill for Mandalorian, why can't they? But yeah, that was only a bit. I'm just like, you're not really Jack Torrance, If they just put that kind of there, then I would have got it. But it just didn't do it. But yeah, I love The Shawshank as well.
I love The Shawshank.
It would be of those three there that Taylor's mentioned. I'd go Shawshank, Shining, Shawshank, The Great Mile. Another one that's come out 4K but doesn't need a 4K restoration.
Green Mile.
Blu-ray, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've got it on like collector's edition Blu-ray, which it looks fantastic. But the set they put out for it looks. I'd want it for the set rather than the 4K.
Yeah.
The packaging for it looked amazing. I've not bought it. I'm happy with the Blu-ray.
Also, this is controversial as well. I prefer the remake of Pet Sematary to the original 90s one.
I'm not a fan of either. And I know a lot of horror fans love Pet Sematary. I think Pet Sematary for me, I come at it too late. It didn't hit me on nostalgic. Like I didn't watch it as a kid or anything. Unlike, I don't know, Halloween. The list goes on. Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, blah blah blah. I come into Pet Sematary really late in life, like in my 20s, and I was like, the remake. Yeah, the remake I enjoyed. They're all right.
What's we got then? What's got here? I love the original remake of Pet Sematary. Jules has put, yes, I found the lighthouse very slow, but it does have Robert Pattinson. Yeah, we know, Jules. Your mate again, Tarek. Allow me to throw something at you. What do you guys think of Eastern cinema? And what 3 Eastern films would you recommend to someone to watch? So I'm guessing when he means Eastern, does he mean
Japanese films?
Cine Asia and things like that?
Yeah, he's a massive he's into all these like kung fu films, Jackie Chan, Donnie Yen, all them sort of movies. Bruce Lee and that. He's like that's what sort of his channel centered around.
Okay, I say I'm not a big kung fu. So if someone said to me about Eastern films and Korean and all that, I'd probably say things like I Saw the Devil.
That's a good one. That's a great film.
Train to Busan or The 800.
Yeah.
The Swordsman. Parasite.
Have you seen The Swordsman? I watched that the other day.
Yeah.
That's a great film. Yeah. Tarek gave me a massive list of films. I've been off work for a week, I booked off some time off, and he gave me a list of like Asian films to watch. That was on it, and I watched it. It was a great film. I
honestly think if you do watch The 800, you'll have you can just message us on Facebook Messenger. I want to know what your opinion is of The 800. Okay. Because I think it's really, really good. It was one of those films I thought, the trailer looks good, and that kind of got me into Cine Asia. But no,
I'm sure that film, the year it came out, was the most money-making film of the year.
I think, but I think it was probably because you know, all the films were getting made because
Yeah. It was. It was the year Tenet and that come out, wasn't it?
yeah, it made more money than Tenet. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I highly recommend it. It's very, very good. But I mean, Train to Busan. I really like Peninsula.
I wasn't a big fan of the Peninsula.
I bought
I
it
thought it was such a step down from Train to Busan.
I upgraded that 4K. I had to get it imported because I really liked it. What else are there?
I mean, the Raid's my one. Like the Raid for me is like probably my favorite action film in the last 20 years.
And the remake of it, Dread.
I enjoyed that, to be fair, as well.
Yeah, Dread. Every time I watch Dread, I just think it is. I mean, I love Dread, but it's very much a remake of the Raid. Basically, getting up to the top of the tower. But I Saw the Devil is such a good film.
Yeah, it's a good film.
It was one of those films I was like, I've had it for ages and never watched it, and I think I watched it about 6 months ago, and I was just like, why have I never watched this film? It's not the fact it was subtitled. I don't care about that. It was just so good. I'm trying to think of any others.
See, he's. I watched a film as well called 13 Assassins about samurais. Like that was an incredible film. That was on a list he gave me. What else have I been watching?
Is there one called 13 versus 1 or something?
Yeah, no, the 400 versus 1, I think it's called.
Right, okay.
So it's sort of like a one-shot samurai sort of movie. Okay. But there's loads, man. But you know, if I was to say to someone, and I've nowhere near as much knowledge as Tyke, but if someone said to me, you know, give me a sort of martial arts film, someone nowadays, you know, a younger person might want to get into it, I'd show them The Raid. I think everyone who likes movies should watch The Raid. I think it's an absolute masterpiece of a film.
Especially the last fight.
Oh man, it's like I remember watching that for the first time, and my jaw was on the floor. I was like, "What am I watching here? This is like the future. This is."
I'm trying to think of other ones because I'm just trying to think of subtitle films. But yeah, if anybody's watching this and hasn't seen I Saw the Devil, I definitely recommend you 100% watching it. It's very, very good. I can't think of any. I'm just thinking of Arrow titles, which is subtitled.
They put out quite a few, haven't they? Did they put out Train to Busan? Was that them who did that?
Train to Busan, yeah. I mean,
yeah.
The prequel was all right. It wasn't brilliant, but yeah, there was a one. I forgot what it was called though. There was a one on Netflix. I forgot what it was called. It was about trapped in a tower block. And with the zombie invasion, and he met this girl, and he was like texting her, and she was like over the other side of the thing. He was sending his drone over. I forgot the name of that one.
Oh, yes, it rings a bell. I can't remember what it's called though.
But yeah, so but Pete's not coming back for some reason, there, Paul. I don't know why. And that's the end of the comments. So I'll tell you what I'll do. We'll leave it there. So cool. Hang around backstage for a second, and then we'll just do that. So thanks to everybody for watching. Thanks to Paul for joining me. Don't forget to subscribe to Paul's channel, whose link is in the description below. Please ignore the hole I've got in my hoodie because I just put a cheap one on to keep warm. But yeah, we'll end the stream there. So thanks very much for watching, everybody, and we shall see you next week.
Thank you, guys.
And hopefully Pete will be back at some point. But yeah, we'll go for now. Cheers. Bye for now.